I remember I had my phone. I had 20 bucks in minutes. I was topped up for the week. And I was like, should I call this number? I opened up my phone, called this number, and I was a nervous wreck. On the other line, it said, hello, this is the ITEP program. How can I help you, sir? And me on the other line, I couldn't contain myself. I never spoke like how I always speak. I was very shy. I was very fast. Hello, my name is Kendall Letmaker. I applied to your program after grade 12. I never got in your program. How are you going to get our program? And he's like, holy smokes, slow down, young man. Just take a deep breath. And I'm like, I'm trying, but I can't. And eventually he said, tell me your story, young man. And I said, okay. And I said, what I told you, where I came from, what I went through. And I said, I want to become a teacher. I want to help people. I want to coach. I think I can be a great coach, I said. He's like, okay, I'm going to do one thing I don't do, and I'm going to put you into this program. But you got to complete it. So, from a rejection letter to a phone call to now get into this university. And I moved there now to Saskatoon, studying to become a teacher. And during this time, I meet my now wife, who is also a teacher in Saskatoon. And during this time, right upon finishing my degree, I had this idea. An idea that came from here, and it never went away. And the more I ignored it, the stronger that feeling got. So I had no choice but to act on it. Right upon the birth of our firstborn, Keanu. This was our apartment we were living in. I never had a camera during these days. I don't know why. Remember, we were just getting out of those Polaroid days where you'd have to, wind it up and then take a photo. I never had access to a lot of photos, so I wish I had more photos of the apartment we lived in. Because this is the birth of my first business that I ever launched that a lot of people remember from. But during this time, Keanu was born, 2011. I was just finishing my idea to launch Nietzsche Gear, a lifestyle brand that empowers you through sport. It was built upon the story of Johan, trying to help more Indigenous youth to have access to sport. And I didn't know how to start a business. I didn't know what I was doing. But I had a drive, I had a desire to do it. So I sat in rooms, I took notes on a piece of paper, and I listened to people teach me how to write a business plan. Piece by piece, double doubles to double doubles, taking people out for coffee. Couldn't afford the Starbucks Frappuccino stuff. I was a very poor student. And I'd sit there hungry for knowledge. I pieced this business plan together. He was born the day I pressed enter, and I sent it off to these competitions. The next week, they say, Kendall, you have to come and pitch your business. I was like, what do you mean pitch? Well, that's part 2 of this competition. You have to get up on a stage and speak in front of hundreds of people. There's going to be judges and there's going to be prize money. And I'm thinking in my head, if you would have told me that in the beginning, I don't know if I would have applied. Because I never was comfortable speaking. I was nervous. So shy back then. I had a hard time. And I remember the only thing I had that these other competitors didn't have was a story. I'd show up to these competitions and I would say, hello, my name is Kendall Letmaker. I'm the founder of Nietzsche Gear. We're a lifestyle apparel brand that empowers you through sports. Every single year, we help underprivileged youth to take part in sports. Why? Because when I was a kid, there was a kid named Johan. Him and his family paid for my soccer fees, drove me to games and practices, really empowered me. I was able to finish my education and eventually start this brand who's going to be able to help lots of people throughout the world. That's why I'm here today. I would tell that story over and over again. Finally, the judges started to have belief. We won 16,000 cash services from those competitions. I take everything back to this apartment and I start learning about how to screen print, how to design, how to build a website, how to market my brand. Had no idea what I was doing. My first store was around the corner. My son, right in our entrance. Our entrance closet was our first store. People would come buzz up to the second floor and buy from us. And from that location, we went through a very difficult moment. I didn't know how I was going to continue to pay for my son's needs, the roof over our heads, food, we found ourselves downtown Saskatoon applying for social assistance. Life is like this. We go through waves of ups and downs. And sometimes these downs are necessary to shift us in a different direction. See, up until this moment, I was doing this part-time. It was a part-time thing. I had some of my energy in it. I was dabbling other places. During that lineup, we went 50% into it. We were finishing halfway through this application, and something snapped in my head, like a light bulb. Boom. I picked up Keanu. He was in his car seat, my wife, Rachel. I said, Rachel, let's go back to the apartment. I got to talk to you. We go back to the apartment, and I said, Rachel, I don't know how I'm going to be able to pay for all of Keanu's needs, your needs, everything here, but I have this idea, and I think now's the time. I have to follow what I'm feeling. If you support me, I will do everything I can to take care of all of us. But now's the time. I can't explain it. And she probably thought it was crazy back then. She won't admit it. No, I'm just kidding. But she nodded. That was all I needed, was someone who believed in me.